Hello everyone. Hello Shawn. How are you all doing?
Hey Chris, hey guys, welcome to the podcast. This podcast does not have a name. Episode 19 for February 9th, 2022. How's it going, guys? Chris, how's life treating you?
Uh, Same as always. Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm still alive, so still going.
Yeah, we all got to be, grateful for our health, even if nothing changes. We're still alive.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm just kind of here, so
just
nothing new,
existing
pretty much.
on the material plane. Okay. So, I guess we can start with you as we always do, Chris. But before I let you take the reins here,
Hmm.
and I know you told me off and on the podcast, especially off, you don't really care about getting your Twitch affiliate, but you're really fucking close, dude. I'm really hoping you get
It,
it. I've been really pushing for you to get this.
yeah. I mean, really, the only hurdle left is, uh, was it five?
Three concurrent viewers, I think.
Three. Okay, yeah. I've had a few days where Twitch says I'm above that number, but I don't know about overall. Kept thinking it was five. I know, like sometimes during my streams it says, "Hey, you get like 8 people watching," and then I look on the average for that day, it's like 3.5. I'm like, oh, well, all right, whatever, all right, it's the way it is. But
Yeah,
I'm
the
getting
the
closer and
numbers
closer every day,
the
and
numbers are always screwy.
the
Sorry.
yeah, I was just gonna say that the numbers on like Streamlabs or on Twitch official, like their what do you call it, stream manager thing, they're always off by a couple numbers because some people jump in and go, "Oh, what's going on over here?" Stay for like a couple minutes, then jump to another channel, right? So
Hmm.
they may not count as a viewer, or they might for a brief second, but the Twitch thing will keep it updated for a while that they're still there. So whatever, but getting closer.
So you've been doing your Resident Evil marathon on Twitch?
Yeah, not advertising it as one, 'cause I don't know how long it will go for until I move on to something else for a tiny bit. We'll see when FF6 drops. Does
That's awesome. Oh, that got announced actually.
it finally have a
I'm not
date?
kidding. It finally has a date as of today. It was either today or yesterday. I think it was today. Um, don't quote me. I think they said
Oh,
the 24th. Let me double check.
this month?
Yeah, because
Uh-oh.
like yeah, this month, like in a couple of weeks or so. I'm just gonna double check for you because I just saw it myself. People are really hyped. They finally announced it. Remember these pixel remaster games were supposed to all be out
Last
last
year?
year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
23rd.
they're
So I was
coming
actually
to
yeah,
Switch, I think.
that's what people were hoping for at the Nintendo Direct, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but I heard
technically
either someone said
no
they better
word.
be coming or that they were. I'm like, well, let's hope they do. It's not like they're very demanding.
Yeah,
Like, but yeah,
yeah, they'd be really good candidates, but
I can't wait. I mean, I want to
yeah.
play through all of them. I actually tried a bit of. It wasn't now. It was like about a few months ago. Final Fantasy One Pixel Remastered.
Oh,
That's a lot
has
easier than the PlayStation version, at least for me.
yes, I think the PlayStation had the option to pick between hard and easy
I
though.
don't remember if it did. I don't remember what I set mine to, but I remember early-ish in the game when you have to go through the kind of undead cave where
Yeah, the
this.
Marsh Cave. No,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that the Marsh Cave?
I think the
Okay.
marsh cave. You kind of have to go up and around the mountain and underneath.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was struggling in the PlayStation version because I kept needing to go back, grind money, get poison potions, just specifically poison ones, and then go through that. And in the Pixel Remaster, I went through it in one shot and was like, the hell. I didn't have to grind that
Honestly,
much, and my monk in that version, I swear, 2 or 3 levels earlier, I could unequip him, and he was outpacing, matching or outpacing the warrior for damage. And in the PlayStation version, I had to wait till like level 12 instead of like 9.
if it makes you feel any better, even in this version, the Marsh Cave is still a bitch. You still have to get like if you have like a white mage, you're gonna go through all her magic and all your 99 potions just to keep yourself alive.
I
And that
didn't
has not changed.
I didn't have it that big problem. At least not
Well,
for me,
I
but like I don't know what level you were, but I think at that point I was like level 9 or something like that, and I'd unequipped my monk, and we just kind of rolled through there fairly easy. So
Mhm.
maybe because I was expecting it to be hard like the PlayStation version, like I was stocked up on poison potions and uh heal potions, just so I didn't waste all my charges on my heals on
Yeah.
my mage.
My problem was I like to explore the whole map and get all the chests for the
That's
achievements, so that's
I do
probably
that too.
why.
So I have to know what's in the chest, even if I've been there
Yes.
and know it's only 100 gil. I need that 100 gil.
Yes. And do you like the new this is exclusive to the Pixel Remaster versions. You press like a button and it shows like the whole map of your current floor
I
and shows like all
really
the chests.
love having maps in games. That said, I've had bounced off of Metroid so much without having a map.
Yes,
So,
right?
but
Right?
just having a map is so much, so great in this version. So, but yeah, I wanted to maybe go through all of them, not do like a 100% run, but just at least get through the games at some
Right.
point. But I don't know if or when I would do that. Kind of like when you were doing your Final Fantasy marathon kind of thing. So, but we'll see what happens. I do dread if I end up doing the 3D ones, having to touch certain games.
Um to kind of just shift gears for a second
Hmm.
back, like I've been watching a lot of your streams in the morning when you're playing Resident Evil. You seem to really be enjoying yourself, and it really shows on the stream. So yeah, you've been doing a really good job. I know, as I said, you don't really care about hitting your affiliate, but I think honestly, I think I care more than you do at this point about you getting
I
your affiliate.
well, I've been streaming for longer than you have. I've been on and off of it for years. Whenever I do a new outfit like cosplay, I'll usually stream some of it, but because of the times I'm on, not a lot of people are on,
Yep.
and when I'm doing art and that, it's just me sitting there doing art, listening to music, right? So my channel has always been very chill and slowly moving, as it always has been. So to me, if I
Speaking of
get
which,
it, I get it. Um,
you mentioned Vegeta again. Are you planning on streaming that pretty soon?
as soon as I get my laptop up and running with whichever uh what do you call it, Streamlabs or OBS or XSplit, whatever I'm gonna
Hmm.
use. I need to get that all up and going in a state I like. And what do you call it? I also gotta get lots of music on there. I need to go to what's that called? Um,
Spotify?
OC
Oh,
OC
OC.
Remix. I need to go
Yeah.
there and get lots of music because I've only got a couple soundtracks, and I was like, man, I should look up like some Mega Man music and Donkey Kong
Yes.
music and see what kind of remixes are done there. Because I've only got like Chrono Trigger, I think Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 6. So I want to get more music, more variety. So
More, spelled Moar.
yes,
More.
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 Isn't that how it was said in Star Wars? More.
Which one? Which scene? I don't
It's
remember.
the one with Star Wars episode would be 7 or 8 with oh, what's his name? The Solo there,
Luke? Oh, Han Solo?
not Han Solo, his son.
Oh, you're talking about the this Disney
Ben
ones.
can
Oh, Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Kylo Ren. I was couldn't remember his fucking Sith name or even his real name. But yeah, when Kylo's screaming and they turn that into a meme.
Oh
If
God,
you've seen the
don't
one
remind
meme,
me.
the one I've seen is when he's at a restaurant and they're putting cheese on his on his spaghetti. And he's like, more,
Right.
more.
That's funny.
Like that. Yes. But yeah, I guess I get into what I've been doing. Not much of anything, you know. Fist of the North Star and Super Sentai. It's still going. It's good. This season of Super Sentai, the story has been pretty much nothing about the three original Rangers. It's all been about the other ninja clans, two ninjas. That's it. The others have like almost nothing to do with the story. Like the main focus, like they're just there defending the Earth and like guess trying to, get back their clan, like save them. But every other aspect of the story has been the other clan and what's been going on with them. which isn't bad because they're more interesting. But yeah, it's good. And beat RE2, really
Right,
good.
and three.
And then I beat RE3, and I think that's the best Resident Evil game I've played ever.
Um, I never played three, but watching you play, it seems like there's only one character again this time, and well, not this time, like
Yeah,
for the, but like there's choices.
yeah,
Pick option A or option B. So that's kind of seems really strange. And then you said at the very end you kind of maybe want to do another playthrough and just see what the other choices would net you. Like
yeah.
would the story be significantly different?
There is apparently, at least without going, because I didn't look up spoilers, but I did look up, what the differences not quite were, but what I'd have to do. And I think there's like one or two choices in the game you make that will significantly change the ending of the game or something like that. So apparently, I don't know, I'll have to go through, but apparently there are like two endings to the game. Kind of like how the other REs, like if you saved this person, it would affect whether or not they're at the end or whether or not something would happen near the end, right? That's what I'm expecting here. Like that choice will actually matter on what happens in the end. So,
Okay.
and that's
Hmm.
about I think 50% mark. I want to say in the game. I could be wrong, but yeah, they have kind of make your choice options in this
Make your
game.
choose your own adventure, pretty
I
much.
I was going through the game originally, always running away from Nemesis, and in the end, I'm like, no, screw this, I'm taking this fucker down. Started being more aggressive toward him. I'm like, well, that's gonna suck when I go through the other way and be aggressive and then start running away. It's gonna be a weird playthrough of that game. But to get all of the epilogues, like there's little epilogues that tell you what happened to the Stars members and the characters from all the other games, and you get one for each ending of the game. So there's like 7 different epilogues you get at the end credits. So technically, I could play through 7 times to get those, or just look them up on YouTube because who cares? But I do want to do one more just to see the alternate scenes in
Right.
little areas. Because if you do this or that, you can end up in a different area you never would end up in before. But I think the shift or the kind of like what games used to do, because some games don't do this anymore. When you make a sequel, you usually expand upon the ideas that were made in the previous game, right? So like RE2, RE1 was the mansion, 2 was a little bit of the city plus the RPD, and everything else was attached to like the RPD, right? 3 is the city you're running through, lots of tight corridors, jumping in and out of buildings. So they've vastly expanded that, and you briefly go into small little areas for, I guess, the segments of the game, but it's like 90% running through the city. It feels way better than the others based on that. Like you feel like you're in this pandemic and trying to escape the city.
Well, the original name of Resident Evil in Japan is Biohazard,
Well, yeah,
so
it is.
you know. So yeah,
But
close
yeah,
enough, right?
but
Close
you know what I mean. Like two, you barely spent any time in the city, and the rest was in the RPD. It's like, oh, I'm just trapped in this building. Fair enough. So that's what I mean. Like you actually feel like it's more than just 1 or 2 buildings. It's it's the city you're escaping.
enough. That's cool.
But yeah,
Anything else?
that's pretty much been it. Just gotta maybe take a night or two off and try and set up my bloody laptop because that could take a long time
Right.
to get set up right. So I might have to do that. But now that I'm done 3, we'll see if I do 3 next, like the next playthrough, or if I'll just jump into Code Veronica because that'll be the next one to do before 4 because that's a big time jump between Code Veronica and 4.
I say do three again because it's going to be hard to come back to it if you do, and everyone seemed to love you. You playing three. That one night I tuned into you, so like, you were having fun. Your chat was having fun. So I say do three again.
Yeah, I'm thinking 3. That'll be like I guess a 2 night stream kind of thing. 'Cause it's about 8-ish hours for me, at least the first playthrough was. So that's what I'll
Hmm.
end up doing. That's it. I don't know if I'll even be on tonight. I might just try and do laptop and whatever. If I'm done early, maybe I'll jump on and like fucking grind some Pokemon or something in one of the Pokemon games. Just get some of
Okay.
that done. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And what about you?
So, yeah, a lot of stuff in my life recently. So, yeah, second week at the job, it's been going really well. I've been really enjoying it. Yeah, I can't really give any more details than that. It's been going really well. But now, oh, and I've applied and I've been approved. I haven't committed yet because I want to see it for myself. But in my building here, I've been approved to move into a new unit. It's going to be bigger. It's still one bedroom, but it's still bigger, like significantly bigger.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've not been a fan of this apartment, just like the size, like even before I moved in. But I was kind of forced to move here quickly back 3 years ago. So yeah, I've always been running out of space, and now I'll have a little more space. And now that I am working from home, I figured I should try to, when the time comes when I'm able to, kind of divide my work and my, you know, gaming slash twitching, kind of divide them, not necessarily like different like spaces, but just like divide them a little better, like have the space to have like, oh, here's my worktop, here's here's my work laptop there, that's what I meant to say. Here's my work laptop here, here's my gaming stuff here, because right now I'm just using like my laptop for everything, for work and for gaming, which is not the best thing to be doing, but it's not like I have a choice right now.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm looking into that. Well, I have I'll have to come to a decision Friday slash this weekend. Um, and then something else is, since I am working from home now, I do need a good chair. This chair is long past its due date. Like it should have been thrown away a while ago, but I don't really have a better one. So I've been told by a lot of people that if you are gonna splurge on something, get a good chair, because it's important to your to your health. Like you want to get a good ergonomic chair, and just like make sure your body and your back and everything else is taken care of. Because I'll be sitting here like 8 hours a day working, then maybe potentially up to 8 hours a day, just like you know whatever, like watching YouTube or whatever, for the rest of the day. So yeah, I need to make sure that this chair is also presentable, because it's not it's not really presentable, but yeah. So I'm gonna try and get a Secret Labs chair. I've decided. I'm trying to find a cheap one off Kijiji. And for those who are wondering, because I've had this question brought up on my stream before, what the heck is Kijiji? So Kijiji is basically the Canadian version of Craigslist, except it's not sketchy.
But that
you know,
doesn't that isn't Kijiji in the US?
I thought it was. I thought it was, but I had some of my US friends not know what it was.
Oh,
Of course they know what I could be wrong. I thought it was in
yeah. I thought
the
it was a
US. Actually,
US. I thought it started in the US and then they opened
yeah,
up a site here.
like we have Craigslist in Canada, but like no one, well, no, not no one, but like I don't know anyone who really uses it.
Yeah, I don't know
Kijiji,
anyone who uses it. Screw that. Kijiji. That's where I got a bunch of my SH figure arts I couldn't get a hold of.
no, no, I just looked at Wikipedia. It says Kijiji is Canadian, Chris.
Oh,
Headquarters is in Toronto, so
I
yeah,
see.
yeah, it definitely is Canadian. Um, I thought it was in America too, but apparently not. Anyways, so basically, this is a website. It's like not high class in terms of like money, like people who have money, but higher class, like just a higher class of website than Craigslist. Look, Craigslist is very sketchy, the people and the website. This is the opposite. I mean, the worst thing that's happened to me on Craigslist is people not respond to my PM and just like delete their post. That's like the worst thing. That's what happened to me actually,
Yeah,
like a couple of days ago.
I've never
You know,
used Craigslist.
no, I've never used Craigslist either. I've used Kijiji, and every time I have, it's been a good experience.
Yep,
It's been like at worst
same.
9 out of 10. So yeah. But I've been trying to find a used one on there. I thought I had one, but the guy just didn't message me back and deleted the ad, which is kind of shitty on his part. But yeah, I'm gonna have to buy one maybe soon, because right now they have a Valentine's Day sale on their entire website. So I'm still thinking about it. They are very expensive, but I'm told by some of my friends they are like the only gaming chair that's actually like good for your body at the same time. Usually it's like pick one, but this is actually like you can have both. You can have your cake and eat it too. with these things apparently. So I did my research. That's what my research backed up. So yeah, I also need a gaming desk. I know I don't need a gaming one specifically, but I would like a gaming L-shaped desk. Again, I don't know, I don't need an L-shaped version, but for my needs, I've been thinking about it a lot, and yeah, definitely something I want. Again, if I'm gonna be working at home, I need to be investing in a good work area. So there's no reason for me to hold back. I wanted one anyways for twitching. So it's not like it's I've been off of my mind. Like this is something I've been wanting for a while. Hopefully something with like LEDs or all the fancy bells and whistles. I don't really care about the fancy bells and whistles, but if I can get them, might as well. Um, yeah, and then also again, I've been kind of on a roll. Like, so maybe I'm going to take a step back actually. So, chair and desk is required pretty much for work, and I would like it for twitching and for gaming in general. But yeah, I've been upgrading my stream quite a lot the last week or so. Like, a lot of the stuff was like behind the scenes. So, yeah, just been doing that, and I've been asking a lot of my streamer friends for some things, and they've like told me their opinions and their stories, and yeah, basically, I have a lot of my. I asked this on my Discord, like I noticed a lot of you guys, my fellow streaming friends, are using LED strips in your room, like. And I looked at Amazon. I'm like, these seem the same to me. So I asked their opinion, and they gave me their opinion of which ones they're using. I found out I'm for lighting at least I'm super behind the times. I didn't even know you could like replace normal light bulbs with like LED light bulbs or sorry, like not LED light bulbs. What are they called? Like the light bulbs that like you can just switch the colors of. But then like there's also like the LED strips that you can like put behind you, like on my wall behind me, for example, here if I wanted to have them there. Instead of having normal lights on, like right now in my room, I could have like the room like pitch dark, turn on the LED lights, and it looks really fucking cool. So yeah, I kind of want to do that. I'm just kind of still looking into that. So that's what I mean. It's like a lot of the stuff is behind the scenes. I've been working on, some OBS stuff, been doing some research on that, on my bots, on my Discord here. So I actually have new stream overlays, but they're super difficult to set up. I bought some off Etsy, but it looks really fucking cool once you do. So I need to put a few hours into getting that set up.
If I
What
can find
else?
this other lights, send you. Show you them later, but I have to find them first.
I was
But
actually
they're not LED. It's a little different thing. So,
Yeah, I was actually off stream slash off podcast. I was going to ask you if you could show me your setup too, because I'm actually curious.
well, my
But
setup's
yeah,
just above
well, I mean,
light.
like take your camera, like actually show me like the behind the scenes tours of Prince
I
Kaboom's.
guess I could.
No.
It's not.
that's
It's
that's
not
what I mean.
much different than yours, but I can show you later if
Okay.
you like.
Because like this position, I don't like. I would like to do what you're doing, maybe like having my L-shaped desk like in the corner here, or
Hmm.
like like up here, maybe. Not even in the corner necessarily, just like so like I have something behind me. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I have to think like I have to act. This will also be, at least for now, my like professional interview thing. So I can't have like anything super inappropriate behind me. Um,
You could always, if you were to do that and have one workspace slash gaming space, right? You, if you had a place to be able to mount it, you'd have a curtain so you could pull it behind you so you cover up your extra stuff so that while you're working, that's not showing. If you
yeah,
want to do that, but I don't know what your new setup will be like or how you could do that. I mean,
exactly. And
curtain rod isn't, or fabric even just to pin it up isn't that hard to do, but maybe, maybe it's got to be something like that. I don't know.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, I'll be moving maybe, excuse me, in a couple of months, so it's kind of going to be mute for this setup at least now. So
Mm,
yeah, just just I really want to be working on my Twitch, like to the point of I've looked into like I didn't originally plan on doing this, but I have made some Instagram accounts and a TikTok, so I still need to figure out what the hell I'm doing on those platforms. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start to try to upload stuff to there, because like again, I have several gaming friends on my Discord, and it's just like public and private conversations I've had with them. They like the numbers don't lie. Like you go onto their social media, their Instagrams or TikToks, which admittedly I'm not really a big user of. Like I've had them for a while, at least Instagram. I just never really used it for years. But you go on their webs on their social medias on those sites, and like yeah, like numbers don't lie. Like sometimes they have like 500, 700 views on like you just take like a clip from like Twitch, and like you kind of like show the clip, and like you have like your webcam like the top half, and like the clip is like on the bottom half, like you know how like the TikToks or Instagram is like made for your phone, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like that kind of format. So yeah, that's actually like a really good source of getting new people to your stream and like promoting yourself. I kind of wrote it off at first, I'll be honest, but again, numbers don't lie. So yeah, I need to be doing that too. There's a lot of stuff that I've been mentioning so far, but I'm kind of being overwhelmed. Like I'm kind of overwhelming myself, which I guess is kind of a good problem because it means I have a lot of work and improvement I need to be doing. um Anyways, so that's kind of like my upgrade story. So on Friday, this last Friday, I had a very impromptu celebration stream where I had some drinks. Like I had like a little cart here. Yeah, and I was gonna be playing some Hollow Knight, but yeah, I there's some incentives to make me take some shots, which people took up. It was a really fun stream. It was super fun. Everyone said it was super fun, so I'm pretty happy. The thing about Twitch is you can do that. I've looked into it. I've asked other streamers who have done it themselves. It's not against a TOS. The only thing that is against a TOS is if you go over your limit. You have to know when to quit, which I do, and I did. So yeah, it's still super fun. That was my first kind of drinking stream. Very impromptu. I wasn't planning that when I woke up Friday morning to do that, but I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm happy I finally got a job in my field and at work from home. So yeah, I felt like celebrating. And unfortunately, right now I don't have any friends like physically in my area. So, and I'm a very social drinker. I don't generally drink by myself. So yeah, Twitch chat and friends helped. Um, been playing. We did the Steel Soul run of Hollow Knight, which is the hardcore mode, like the one where if you die once, your file gets deleted off of the game. We did that, so pretty happy. Played some It Takes Two with Mandy. Oh, and I played Poppy's Playtime, which is kind of like, I don't want to say FNAF. It's FNAF inspired, but it's actually a really short game. Like a casual playthrough took me like 2 hours to do. It's only $5 on Steam. um, yeah, Game Theory had a theory on it actually, which I'm going to be watching now that I beat the game. It's actually really fun. Um, the speed run is 7 minutes.
Yep.
So
I can see
as soon
that.
as I did my speed run as soon as I beat the game. I took 12 minutes, but obviously I'm not knowing what I'm doing. And second of all, my PC isn't the greatest. So yeah, I do have my tower, but I need a desk. I need a new desk because I'm already out of real estate on this small desk I'm on currently. I need a new desk to just make sure the tower is on the desk. I don't want to put on the ground because I have a cat and she sheds a lot of hair. So yeah, once I get that new PC up, I'm going to be doing. I'll just be doing a for fun speed run and trying to actually get. Well, I guess it's not for fun because I'll be doing a lot of research on it, but I will be trying to rank myself pretty high. I wasn't a fan of my stream because it was like 20 frames a second, like a little more than that, like let's say 20, 24 frames a second. Obviously, that's just my PC being my PC. Not much I could have done about that. But
Mm.
yeah, I probably won't stream any more PC games unless if I have a full 60 FPS because I don't want to be doing that again. Um, yeah, I think that's it for me. What else? Is there anything else? No, I think that's it for me.
Okay.
Did you fall
Yeah.
asleep?
No,
Okay.
of course not.
Of
No,
course not.
I would never do that. Just a lot more going on in your life than I guess usual than compared to me, since I'm out of the house 12 hours a day. Then I get to go to sleep and then wake up and do it again. So I don't really have
Dude,
much time to do a lot of stuff. Like
I will
the most
say,
exciting thing I did, other than my usual, was I went down and bought some extra stuff for my cosplay. That
nice.
was it. Like I still haven't gone and spent the $1,000 I need or so that I need on wigs.
Thou $1,000 to make
Could
one
be.
Vegeta wig?
No, not
Oh
one.
my.
To get all the for
Oh, all of them.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
It's Blue and Saiyan or Super Saiyan. Okay, and base, right?
well. There's more than that. I need. So I've got which one? I did Super Saiyan, so I don't have to do
Yeah.
that, or Super Vegeta. So I need base. I need Super Saiyan. If I want to do it, Super Saiyan 3, because I do believe Vegeta achieves that in GT. I need Super
Oh God,
Saiyan
don't remind me.
4, so I need black and a dark brown wig for that, because his hair is slightly colored dark brown. Then I need red for Super Saiyan God. I need blue for Super Saiyan Blue, and I need purple for Ultra Ego Vegeta.
Wow, you're going for the full smorgasbord of Vegeta's wigs, huh?
If I can do it, I'm going to do all of his outfits. I think GT will be the hardest one so far because Super Saiyan 4, I haven't found yet a source to be able to do the for his red fur. As soon as I find that, I'm gonna be looking into doing GT. But yes, I want to do all of his outfits. Do one for every day of the week. you know. But yeah,
And you've done Batman Vegeta before.
yes, I need to also do a new Batman shirt.
Have you ever considered, and I'm not saying like do this for a living, but have you ever considered just for fun, like going on like Etsy or something, like making these things and like selling them to people, like make like 10 Batman shirts or something like that?
If
Because
I
like
could
once you make
find
one,
if I could find a way to consistently make them well, then yes. I've looked into, screen printing on my own, but it hasn't turned out well, or the thing I've got hasn't set up. Like, I almost have to make my own or buy a screen printing machine to do that. Because then it should hopefully come out well. It's just I've had bad luck with that so far. But I have looked into at least being able to set that up. Like, I want more than just one version of the Batman shirt. I want multiple shirts with that logo or a different logo on the back for me, you know? But yeah,
well,
I've looked into stuff like that. Just whether or not to sell, I don't know about that. We have to see. I doubt it, but you know, yeah,
yeah. The, the kind of your point about being out of the house 12 hours a day, I will say it's so nice not having a commute anymore. You just wake up and you're good to go pretty much. That you save so much time in your week just getting rid of the commute.
yeah,
But I know, Chris, you have also the fortune of having a 4 day work week because you work like instead of like 5/8, for example, you work, I believe, like 4/10s.
yeah.
So that shaves a whole day of commute off of your week. That's you save so much time from
It
that as well.
it does, but my 1 day off, my 3 days off aren't 3 days in a row. It's 4 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off. So one of my days off is is pretty much in the middle of my work week, and that doesn't feel like a day off a lot of the
I'm
time.
sorry, that sucks.
It feels like that I'm just waiting for the next day to start so I could go back to work. You know, if it was 3 off in a row, it would feel like more of a weekend.
Right.
You know,
I get that. I get that. At least, and I know you don't need it, but at least your body gets a chance to rest. Your mind gets a chance to rest a little bit on that
yeah.
one day off.
If
So,
if anything, if I'll have a split week, I want it right in the middle. 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off, right? Because then I get
mhm.
that full split right in the middle. It would feel a little bit nicer, even if it doesn't feel like a full day off. It is a day of rest right in the middle of my week. So, but
Yeah.
that's probably never gonna happen. So,
Well, I think that's it for me.
yeah,
I think sounds like that's it for
I
you.
think
So
we
I think
could
we're
get
good to,
into it, don't shouldn't we?
yeah.
Mm.
So, a few hours ago for me, well, for everyone, as of the time we're recording this, 4 hours ago exactly, was when Nintendo did their first Nintendo Direct of the Year, Chris. I know
Oh,
you were sleeping. I actually watched it live.
yeah. I don't really watch these live. I'll wait for some place like IGN or whatever, Kotaku or someplace to post. Go. Here's the stuff you need to care about. I'm like, yeah, that's stuff I care about. And then, so I don't
So
really watch live events.
so for me, I will say my overall impression was most of the time, and this is not like a today sort of thing. It's most directs. Most of the time, I find the directs boring. Like I'm just like, oh, this game doesn't interest me. Doesn't interest me. Doesn't interest me. Oh, there's one. There's one, and there it goes. Okay, it doesn't interest me. It's like I only have like a few select games, so this wasn't any different for me. Like I was paying attention the whole time, but yeah, Nintendo Directs are pretty small. They're usually this one was no different. They're usually like 40 minutes. They're very concise in that way at least. So they kind of you don't have to be paying attention for like very long. Um, so yeah, if it's okay with you, Chris, I'd like to just go over like my top two or three that I've actually found exciting from this direct.
If you want to do that.
Yeah, and then we can and then we can go back and forth if you like. So finally, finally, Earthbound has come back. No, I'm kidding. I was trying to do the whole Rock thing.
Yeah,
Finally, the Rock has come back to Miami, or whatever he says. Um, but yeah, wow. So Earthbound fans for like not even years, for decades at this point, have been like pestering Nintendo to like bring Earthbound to the console, and
yeah,
they finally did. It's actually on the console tonight. You can actually get it tonight. But people, so they showed Earthbound, which is Mother 2, and then they showed Mother 1. I'm like, are they actually going to show Mother 3?
not
Because
a
that's never been
bloody
localized.
chance.
That's the golden goose. Mother 1 and 2 is okay. They've already been re-released. They've already been officially translated to
On Wii
English, even
U.
though yeah, well, on Wii U, but like Nintendo and Super Nintendo, they were already, even though Mother 1 wasn't officially released, it was officially translated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mother 3 never officially translated. I was like, are they actually going to bring Mother 3 in this collection? But no, it's just the
If they
first two games.
did, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's why I was excited for that. I'm like, are they finally going to do it?
But you can now
Um,
play Earthbound Origin or Mother 1
Mother 1,
because
yeah.
you don't have the Wii U, so now you can actually play it because you do have the
Yeah.
base subscription, right? For
Me?
Nintendo Online or no?
No. I only used the was it 7-day trial? I haven't done the
Okay,
online
so I
really
believe
beyond that.
this is part of that. I could
It
be wrong.
is. It is.
So
No, you're right. It is.
as long as you have the
Um,
base, you guys can go and play it.
yeah. So I was expecting. I think everyone was expecting to hear something about Breath of the Wild 2 or the sequel to Breath of the Wild, whatever you want to call it. But no, nothing. A little
Surprise.
disappointing. Yeah, because it's supposed to come out this year apparently. So nothing about that. People were also expecting news about the Final Fantasy Pixel Masters. Nothing about that.
Nope.
I had those are the two things I was keeping my eyes open for. So, what was really surprising that I don't think anyone saw coming, and yeah, I'm kind of like this is probably most people wouldn't find this game interesting, but I know both of us would. Chris, Chrono Cross re-release coming out on the Switch, and not just the Switch. I actually looked into this; it's actually all the consoles,
Yeah, it
and I
should be
think
all
maybe
of them, I
PC.
think.
Yeah, so this is not a Switch thing, but it got announced during the direct. I'm like, oh my god, like that I did not see coming because like Chrono Trigger has been re-released multiple times. I don't think Chrono Cross has
No.
at all. This
It's
is the
always
first time.
been it's always been on PlayStation and maybe to download on like PS2 or 3 maybe, but
Yeah,
that would be the original
and
version.
it comes with Radical Dreamers, which is so Chrono Cross was Super Nintendo, and then Chrono Trigger was for Super
Yeah,
Nintendo, I
there
meant to
you
say,
go.
and then Chrono Cross was for PlayStation. But in between that, they had like a story that was only for the Super Nintendo in Japan, and only like it was. I forget the name exactly, but it was some sort of like saddle view. It was like a satellite
Teleview or
downloaded service,
yeah.
Teleview, yeah, something like that. It was a Japan only thing. It was like a downloadable game that kind of bridged the gap between the two games. So that's included in this collection.
Yeah.
So
So
you the only way you could have played this legally, well, not sorry, not,
not
well,
legally.
not you couldn't. Not the only way you could play this period was to download it, but now you can actually play it legally for the first time. So that's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Granted, it's like mostly a text based choose your own adventure, but if you're heavy into this into the lore of the story, which for most games I am, I'm a very lore heavy guy. That's amazing
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say I found going through Chrono Cross that it felt to me that they were keeping it away from Chrono Trigger up until the last 5 minutes of the game where they just lore dump onto you. And you're like, oh, this would be nice if you sprinkled this into the entire game instead of here it is. Now go fight the final boss. That's what it felt like to me. And if Radical Dreamers actually tries to bridge the gap better between that, that would be way better. Because I still beat the game and went, is that what was supposed to be at the end? When I heard people's stories on them, like I still don't understand it. So
Yeah,
I felt
it's
a bit confused, and lore dumping right at the end is not a good way to end the game. It almost felt like if they had a different way to go about it and said, "Oh wait, we have to tie this in." That's what it almost felt like to me, you know.
I'm just glad that people actually have a chance to play this game because like look at Chrono Trigger, originally for Super Nintendo, re-released on PlayStation. It's on Steam now. It's on mobile. It's on it what it did come out on the Nintendo DS, which they actually added like a new bonus dungeon, and they actually added some Chrono Cross lore into that version of
Yeah,
the game.
apparently they did that too.
Yeah, I play. These are like I and everything I've said so far I've played. So, but Chrono Cross, no, only PlayStation One. That's it up until now. And they said in the direct the only things, well, not the only, but they mentioned that the features are you can turn off battles and oh, I forget the second one. Yeah, but basically not really like not really heavy on the extra features, if anything. But
Hmm.
I'm just happy it's going to be of officially available on like not just the Switch on like as I said PC and the rest of the console. So that's pretty fucking awesome.
Now a whole new generation of people can, who have played Chrono Trigger can play this and said this isn't fucking Chrono Trigger, because that's what happened when
Yes,
Chrono Cross came
exactly.
out.
Yeah. And then the
Oh,
last
the
thing,
other feature was that they're redoing the entire soundtrack.
yeah, I heard that. I'm like, no, like I'll stick to the original. Thank you.
Oh no,
Like,
like it's the original soundtrack. They're just redoing it. Like
yeah,
they got
like
the different vocalists or the same vocalists from the original and the artists, and they were making hints and tweets about this, but not actually saying it. This was like part of what we were talking about like months ago, before the mobile game tie-in, and how there were rumors that this game was going to come out, like the remaster, but that it was only information coming out from people who were remastering all the music, and we kind of said we'll see it when it happens, but that music might just be for the mobile game. But apparently it's not. But yeah, apparently it's a whole redone soundtrack. So
the
I
way
don't
I
know
took
about
it,
I don't know about new tracks, but at least remasters of the original.
the
So
way I took it was it's basically Final Fantasy X remastered. It's the game will ask you, do you want the original or do you want
yeah, I don't even
the
know if the original versions will be in, but if they are,
that's that's why I assumed they meant in
okay.
the trailer. Like Final Fantasy X asked you, do you want like the original or do you want like the remastered soundtrack? And the remastered soundtrack is not bad, but for me personally, and I find most other people as well, like except for one or two songs, people really prefer the original music. So that's probably what's going to happen this one too, because it's
Mm,
still Square, and they probably are going to do something similar. That's my guess. So yeah, we'll see. And the last thing that got me excited was they said Metroid Dread update number one is available today, with number two being available in April. So I'm not sure which of these features is for which of these updates. Actually, I do. The feature that dropped today was there's a one hit kill mode. So if you get hit once, it doesn't matter by what your health is, you die. So basically, you have to try and do the game hit list, well, with checkpoints along the way, of course. But you have to like just not get hit for bosses and all that. That's kind of cool. I like that they put that in. They also put like a beginner mode, which is basically like just easier than the normal mode. You don't lose as much life when you get hit. Yeah, I forget what else did they put in.
boss
What
rush mode.
yeah, boss rush mode. Thank you. I probably wouldn't have remembered that, but yeah, boss rush mode. That's gonna be kind of cool. And it's all free, right?
Hmm.
So it's like aftermarket support, pretty much. Like they didn't have to do this, but the fact that they are is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
other
that's it for
game,
me.
other ones that I mean, there's a bunch we could go through, and I'll talk about certain ones that I want to, but I want to go through some of the other stuff that they mentioned because there's a bunch here that I'm looking at and going, "Oh, that's cool, that's cool. I can't wait for this." So I had a
Yeah,
lot
for sure.
more
Go for it.
for me. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 announced for September this year. I will probably pick this up at some point because I liked Xenoblade. The ones that I've been playing, I don't, I haven't beaten any of them yet, but they are long ass RPGs. But I have loved what I've played of them. Can't wait to play Xenoblade 3. I don't know if they've even dropped hints of this being made. So this was a surprise that they're actually releasing it or doing it this year. You've never played any of these, have you?
No.
Okay. They, I think it was like Wii 3DS, GameCube, not GameCube, uh, Wii U. You know, there's been at least a remaster or remake or a continued game in this series, so it's been around for a bit. Let's see, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is getting 48 new tracks.
Yeah,
That
over until the end of 2023, they said.
that is insane. It's only gonna be about $25 American, so roughly 30 something Canadian.
It's
It's
included in the online pass.
yeah, if you have the expansion pass, online pass,
Yeah.
booster, whatever the hell it's called, the deluxe version of the pass. It's for free for that, kind of like the Animal Crossing Deluxe or
Yeah.
Animal Crossing DLC. Uh, yeah, I'm surprised for as old as this game is that it's getting a lot more tracks added in. I guess instead of making a new Mario Kart, just release more tracks, which is what they should have been doing from the outset. Don't know why
Yeah,
they
and
didn't.
all these tracks are going to be from previous iterations of the game. They said we're going to bring back the most popular tracks, and they kind of showed that in the trailers. That's pretty cool. Like I'm not a Mario Kart player. Like I probably will pick up the game when it goes on sale at some point, just to play very, very, very casually. Just
Hmm. I
But
yeah.
yeah, some of the tracks are going to be awesome. Like no doubt. But yeah, you have the option of buying it, as you said, just the pass, and it's cool that they are able to like. There's just not one way to get it. There's multiple ways. I like that they did that. I like that they gave the consumer the choice. And as you said, instead of bringing out the new game, yeah, this is going to go until the end of 2023. So for at least a couple more years now, the rest of this year, and yeah, all of next year,
You know, you know
this
what
will
I
be the Mario
would have
Kart
also been good with instead of doing this? How about release an F-Zero game?
game.
Or
Okay,
Wave Race?
we got Earthbound, so we've exhausted all of Nintendo's goodwill for the next 10 years. Okay, just realize that. You know I'm not wrong. You know I'm not wrong, Chris.
Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes.
I thought we just move on because you know that's right.
Yes,
All right.
so this looks to be a sequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses. The trailer shows characters from the previous game, so looks to be a continuation. I haven't played Three Houses. I've played one of the ones on 3DS. I don't remember what it was called. Whatever. But Fire Emblem is good if you like that whole strategy kind of RPG style games. These good. This have no. Oh gee, sorry. What?
So yeah, it looks like
Sorry about that.
I,
I got really croaky. Oh, I needed a
no
drink.
worries. No worries.
Oh, but these good games. I have no doubt this one will be good, and that there'll be lots of people pining for their waifus and husbandos in this next game as well as the others. Mario Strikers is coming back. A 5-on-5 soccer game. It'll be
Yep.
good. It's Mario Strikers, right? So, not much. I never played them. I don't do sports games, so.
But then apparently there's a new version of Switch Sports, or like
Like Wii
it's
Sports, but Switch
yeah,
Sports
it's
now.
like yeah, instead of Wii Sports, it's Switch Sports. So yeah, that's kind of it's more the same except for a new console,
If that's
pretty
what the
much.
characters look like, they look weird because I'm so used to it being me characters.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And you
They
kind of
announced.
still have the me characters when you make your Nintendo account. So, are
Mhm.
these different characters you play as? Will that allow you to bring in your deformed me's?
Didn't mention anything about that honestly.
Hmm. All right.
So hard to say, but Yeah, apparently this is coming out like pretty soon,
Oh
like
man,
at the end of April. But they said in a week or two from now, so like it actually would be 9 days from now, for a couple days, they are doing like an online playtest. So
well
and
that's
it's
good.
open to all Nintendo Switch Online members as long
Yeah.
as you're an active member. So
It'll be awesome. I'm
yeah,
looking at the splash screen here of the characters. I'm like, they kind of look like me characters, but 3D. Imagine if they found a way to take your me character and then turn it into a full 3D polygon thing based on the things you put onto the me. So imagine the freaks you'd see when they render them in full 3D. Holy crap. That would be
that's
amazing.
what
Like the
that's why
horse people have made.
that's why
And
they're not doing it, because
man,
they realize their mistake and they
no,
don't want to
I really
transition.
I want to see that happen. I want to
So
see RT's freaks of nature he has in games. um, this I can't wait for.
I was going to
Triang
ask you about this.
Triangle Strategy is coming out
Yeah.
on March
So
the 4th, and it's got a demo coming out or is out
and the
right now.
the demo's out now, and they said that if you purchase the game, your progress on the demo will transfer 1-to-1 to
Yeah,
the new game.
that's
So you're
awesome.
basically starting the game tonight if you want
Yeah,
to.
you could do the
I
first 3 chapters. It's just like what they did with the last game.
I was going to ask you, this game, I don't know much about it. It seems very in the same art style as Octopath Traveler, but
Same guys.
I it's okay. That's why I assumed. So this is just basically another Octopath Traveler, right?
Kinda. It's them doing a game. I don't know about story wise because I haven't played the demo yet, but it's more in vein for the gameplay of Fire Emblem.
Okay,
Turn-based strategy RPG. Triangle strategy meaning like, this beats that, beats that, beats that, right?
right. Makes
So
sense.
sword, shield, or whatever you want to say. I believe is where they got the idea for the triangle strategy name. So, but yeah, it's gonna be, I believe, something more in the vein of that. I've been staying away from a lot of gameplay and story trailers and stuff like that for this game because I don't want major spoilers. But now that the demo's out, I'm more likely gonna be downloading that and playing it because I really, really want to play it. I've been waiting since they announced it. I've loved
Yeah,
Octopath, so
I think I'll download the demo myself. I'm not saying I'll buy the game, but at least it's free and
yeah,
my progress
at
transfers
least
over. So there's
yeah, you don't lose anything other than a little bit of data to download the game.
yeah.
It's definitely worth checking out. And something that I didn't think was going to get done, but I'm glad is Front Mission and Front Mission 2 remakes are coming out. Oh my god. Can't wait for big Stompy mech boys to come back into my life. Front
You know
Mission.
what? If you like your toast butter on that side, Chris, I'm not gonna say anything. I won't judge you.
Giant mechs. How can you not love mechs? Mechs is like 30% of anime.
Oh, I'm not. I don't have anything against Max. Just the way you said it. Just the way you said it. That's all.
But no, I am excited for this. I haven't seen the trailer. I just want, whether it's a remake or remaster Front Mission, and for Square to recognize that they own that property and that it exists is also part of that. Like, you guys are finally doing something with this property. You have. Next, Splatoon 3.
Well,
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't know, like new Salmon Run mode revealed. I don't know what that is. I don't play Splatoon.
I don't either, but it's. I think this is the third one on the same console. So yeah, that says how
Well,
popular it
I
is,
believe
right?
first one was. I want to say first one was Wii U. Second one I
Oh, was it? Okay.
think was Switch. Was that also Wii U? I don't remember. And then they're doing another one on the Wii U. So, but yeah, this is just a reveal of like a new mode they're putting into the game. But I don't think it. Yeah, it doesn't even have a release date. It just says sometime maybe after the summer of this year it might come out. So no actual release date of the game. But Splatoon 3 is coming out, guys. They might, maybe they'll support it officially longer than they did Splatoon 2 or better than 2. Maybe. Here's hoping, you guys who like it, because their support of that game is kind of meh. If you've been paying attention, Kirby's still coming out. They showed off new forms. You can be a car. I mean, it's a 3D open world ish kind of Kirby game. It looks cool. So more
Yeah,
Kirby is more good.
I'm not sure what to think about it, but the Kirby games have always been good. I haven't played them all. I've played some of them, so yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Not really
yeah,
much to say.
yeah, nothing.
And then
Just Advance Wars 1 and 2 now have a release date because they were delayed. They were supposed to be out, I think, last year. They're
yeah,
coming out on April 8th. So hooray! I
and
will
then
like to get those at some point. And this next one.
yeah, I was gonna say this is a game that like I've seen YouTube videos of, and like people have said it's really good. But
I
this is a game I think you know a lot more than I do,
I
Chris.
never heard of this until today.
Oh, okay. So I actually know about
You
this more than you do
know
in that
more
case.
about this, and I
So
saw this and lost my mind. Like, oh my god, what is this jam?
so back in the Super Nintendo days, there was a game that was only in Japan. It was called Live Alive. And basically it was a story of it was seven or eight, I forget how many different stories. It's an RPG game, but it takes place in different time periods. So like one story is like prehistoric, and then one's like like a cowboy, one's like present day, one's like the near future, one's like the far future. So yeah, there's every story has its different style as well. So and
Mm,
obviously different storyline, but yeah, it has like its own unique style. Like I think I could be wrong, I may be getting my games mixed up. I think like for one of them, it's like you're a pacifist. You just like talk to people, and that's a story. But I again, I may be thinking of another one of these sorts of games. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, this is like they're re-releasing this and actually bringing it outside of Japan for the first time. And the fact that they're re-releasing a game that's only been in Japan kind of shows you rather how much of a cult following that these guys had, or this game has. Like I've seen it in lots of different YouTubes that like this is a good game that you should play it if you have access to it, which
Yeah,
most
did
people
you
don't. But
mention that this is also Square?
I don't know. Is it Square?
I do believe so.
Okay, well I guess so.
I
So
could
that's
be
pretty cool.
wrong, but I want to say that it is. Like she doesn't say. But it's also apparently because it was released on like the Super Nintendo. So you got like the kind of HD 2D style that you kind of see like Octopath have. I'm like, wait, what? They actually did that on the Super Nintendo? So
Yeah.
that kind of surprises me. I'm looking at the art characters. I'm like, man, I really want to play the cowboy storyline. He looks so fucking cool. But yeah, I can't wait. This surprised me, and I am definitely picking this up on July 22nd. Oh no, yeah. So I I want to play so bad. I think this game out of all of them is the one that I'm most excited for in general because I just heard about it. So I
Nice.
I will. It'll be hard for me to not look up YouTube videos and just look at it to see what the game was like.
So Portal 1 and 2
Or
is gonna be
getting
on Switch.
Switch releases. Yep,
Yeah. Nothing really to say on that. It's just a port, so you can move
but
on.
it's nice.
Yeah, it's
Eh,
nice, of course. Of course. Um MLB The Show 22. Really, the only thing I took from the trailer when I saw it was that you can play it's cross play and it's cross progression, which I think all games should be in
oh
this day and
wow,
age. So that's
uh,
pretty cool.
I'm
Especially,
surprised.
yeah, I mean, especially on the Switch because maybe you want to play it on a more powerful console at home, but then you want to like play this on the go when you're out.
Mhm.
So yeah, all games should be cross progression. All games should be cross play. So pretty happy to see that. So this is a game that I played back in the day when it was new. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, just the first one, not the second one, is coming out on the Switch. Yeah, it's April of this year. Not really much to say. Oh, it's a part of the Wii version too.
Part of the
So
Wii version.
sorry,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a part of the Wii version.
I
So
wonder if
again, not really much to say on that.
wonder if that was the better version of the game or not. I know like when the game came out there
Oh
was port issues with certain versions of the game, so
yeah,
uh,
I played the 360. That was a really good port, actually.
okay.
Well, not port. That was a really good like release on that system at
Yeah.
least. So
But yeah, it's come out. I've never played them, but they look cool, but eh,
So really quickly, the plot in that game is you are Darth Vader's secret apprentice. So you
one
have
of
all the Sith
his
powers.
secret apprentices.
So that's kind of like the gist of the game, and
Yeah,
that's all.
I got that, and either in the first or second one, I know the kind of singer in that one. I'm like, oh, well, of course it is. Yep. Anyway, not to go into that, but Disney Speedstorm with Disney and Pixar characters. It's Disney Mario Kart. Well,
Yeah.
effectively, it's a kart racer with Disney and Pixar characters. So if you're into that, it's coming out. I don't care much for Disney in a lot of that stuff in general. So, but maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll put. Oh, there goes my phone. Maybe it'll give Nintendo a little bit of run. Maybe it'll actually be a good kart racer compared to a lot of the crap ones we get. Because nowadays it's usually just, hey, you've got Mario Kart, and then you have maybe Sonic R Racing, if that one's any good this time. Right? So,
Hmm. Um, No Man's Sky coming to the Switch. Not really much to say on that.
yeah, I
Uh,
don't know if that game is that game is officially, I guess it was officially announced, quotes, but is it finally finished? I don't know.
no
But
Man's Sky.
yeah, because they're,
It's been out.
yeah,
It's been out for.
yeah, but they were doing lots of updates because they had lied about what was in the game originally and
Oh
had to,
yeah, no, they've since done all that. It's just purely new updates that like
okay, yeah.
they yeah. So they're like it's kind of like a Final Fantasy 14, a Realm Reborn
Yeah,
with
because
them
I know
essentially.
it took them a while before the game was finally pretty much had all the stuff they said it was supposed to have originally. And then people were like, now they're putting out, I guess, updates, but I wasn't sure if they were continued updates or new updates, like new content finally or whatever. So that's all. I didn't know. So
Okay,
that's coming out. Klonoa 1 and 2 are coming out on Switch.
yeah, that's good.
It looks really nice. I don't remember what the original looked like, but look at the brief trailer I've seen of this. It looks very pretty. And now you can play it on another console. Klonoa is, I know it's a beloved series, so I always see that run at speedruns
Yep.
for speedruns. So
Not always the most popular, but it is a beloved series. You're right. So this is kind of a weird one. I don't know how to feel about this. In Japan, excuse me. In Japan, especially in arcades, I think we were talking about this a little bit last week. There's a lot of like rhythm games, like a lot of drumming games.
hmm.
So the what's it called? Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival drums, coming onto the Switch this year. That's fine. I have nothing against that. But what I had I'm not sure how you feel about this, Chris, but they mentioned they kind of snuck into the trailer that it's going to have a bunch of songs on release, but then they're going to have like a separate paid subscription for this game to give you even more songs.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not going to be, hey, here's like all these songs for free after you buy the game. It's going to be you're going to have to subscribe to a service and get these additional songs. So I
Hmm.
I heard that. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a good deal to me. Unlike the Mario Kart DLC, where like, oh hey, you're a Nintendo Plus person. There you go, have at it. This is like you have to pay for it through and through. So what do you think?
That is like it's not a paid DLC with extra tracks. It's just a paid subscription service for the extra tracks. That's
Correct.
shitty. I don't think that's good. I guess it depends on how many tracks they really put in and how much you play the game in general, but to me, I don't like that idea. Just give
No.
people access. Because this reminds me of what Guitar Hero did, where they started to make it a live service instead of just allow you to purchase the DLC of of all the tracks, right? And
Hmm.
that kind of killed. Well, it didn't really kill it, but it didn't exactly help the revival of Guitar Hero. I think it was Guitar Hero or whatever the other one was, right? So I don't know.
Rock
Uh,
Band.
yeah, Rock. That's the other one, Rock Band. Whichever one did it, they probably both did it at this point. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's kind of shitty, but they are apparently putting in like some Nintendo tracks in there, like the Legend of
yeah, they
Zelda theme. I don't know if that's part of the paid service or if that's going to be in the game by default. But it is a rhythm game coming out, and there's supposed to be, I hope, 76 tracks original. by normal, like on the
Yeah,
normal version.
76.
So that's a decent amount in general. Uh,
Um,
yep.
Cuphead DLC coming out. Not really much to say.
No,
I don't think that's a Switch exclusive thing. It's
I
just the
I don't think it is.
thing.
I think it's just finally got a release date
Um,
here. Assassin's
Here's one.
Creed.
Yeah, the collection, which these are some of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. And so that includes number two, Revelations, and ooh, what's the other one? A Brotherhood.
So this
So
would
these
be 2, 2.2, 2.3,
pretty much.
if you want to call it that, because it's pretty much one big story, right? It's his storyline, right?
Well,
Kind of?
Assassin's Creed
No?
2 was his, and then they had like two additional ones just because it was such a good game and there's such a good character. So yeah, that's kind of cool. It's coming out in like a week, a little over a week. So yeah. And then Kingdom Hearts, we've talked about this before a
Yeah.
few podcasts ago. So all the Hearts games are coming out tomorrow,
Yeah.
Chris, on the cloud,
There
on
you go.
Nintendo's cloud. So you have to be connected to the internet to be able to play these games. And
Boo.
I know, let's not. Yeah, I was going to say we shouldn't really exactly repeat ourselves, but our consensus amongst the two of us was, it, like their Square is kind of having this as a cloud-based service. Just well, this isn't a consensus. This is actually why, but cloud or Square is having this on the cloud because it's easier for them to port. They don't have to put pretty much any manpower into it compared to the alternative. So it still sucks that as a handheld console, you have to be connected to the internet to play these games. You should be able to download, but then they'd
Hmm.
have to like port it. So yeah, it sucks. It
Like,
sucks. But
like obviously we talked about it. Makes sense
yeah,
for three. I personally don't think it makes sense for a lot of the other ones, but whatever. We'll see when it comes out. I'm sure there's gonna be YouTube videos of people going through them and seeing whether or not the cloud service works and how well it works for these games. So,
yeah,
because I'm sure if it works well, Square will more than likely be wanting to do this for a lot more other games or higher powered games. Like I can see the Tomb Raider series being ported over on this if it's not already. I don't remember. I know we talked about it before, so but it'll be a thing to look out for. Gundam SD Breaker Alliance is coming out later this year. It's a Gundam. Was it? It's an action RPG series with little super deformed Gundam characters. It's cool. I haven't played them yet, but it is very good. They are quite popular if you like, especially if you like the SD uh, versions of them. Um, we also got Getsu Fuma Den Undying Moon is a dark fantasy roguelite. I did not actually look up any of this at all. This one came up and I know nothing of it.
this one I must have. This one I must have got my drink of water or something. I missed it too. So not
Yeah,
really much to say.
unfortunately, it apparently has like a more traditional Japanese art style to it. What it says here, I didn't look it up, sorry. So you guys will have to kind of look that up on your own. And then, just a lot more other stuff like Lego Brothers, Demon Slayer, which, if you've seen anything of that anime series, Shawn, it looks amazing.
Um, one
Like
of my
not the
streaming
game, not the
friends.
game. I mean the anime itself.
Yeah, no, I know that's what you're talking about. One of my streaming friends, she has a community Discord night watching that, kind of like how me and you and some other people are,
Hmm.
watching anime together. Um, so yeah, I jumped in and I saw a couple episodes. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the hell's going on because this is episode like 20,
You know,
but it looks cool.
do you remember back in the day when people were saying, like if Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, like Naruto is Dragon Ball with ninjas and Bleach
Yeah,
was Dragon Ball with swords. This
yeah,
is like Dragon Ball Super with swords in
okay,
ancient Japan. Like it
okay.
is from some of the scenes I've seen, I'm like, holy crap, this is
Well,
so amazing. Like I can't understand what's going on.
I know the next series rather we're watching though.
I really like. I didn't think the series was gonna be this good, and then every week or every month, I just hear about just little clips I've seen, and that I'm like, wow, this series just keeps going. So I think it's definitely one we should look at, maybe checking out. You know, but other than that, 2 Point Campus coming out on Switch, Zombie Armory 4. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So I guess we can move on. So
Yeah, that's
that
pretty
was the
much the Switch.
Nintendo Direct today.
Oh, sorry,
As
that's
I
the
said,
direct. Sorry.
yeah, a lot of concise information, or yeah, well, no, that's correct. A lot of concise information there in 40 minutes. So the story I want to bring up next, Chris,
Mm,
it's not gaming related, but
it's
we're kind of
not.
showing our age. No,
Oh, right,
so
right.
the old X-Men cartoon from back in the day, apparently Disney Plus is gonna pick it up and they're gonna like continue on the series right where it left off. So that cartoon is fairly popular. It's had 5 seasons. But yeah, they're looking to like they're gonna have like the same art style, just like very modernized, but like they'll look more or less the same. They're trying to get all the same voice actors as they can, which they got a good chunk of them, I will say. So yeah, that's really good news. Like that's awesome.
I don't even know
What
where
do you
the
think?
original and where the original cartoon ended. The last thing I remember in it, because I didn't watch it all the time, I watched it when I could. Last thing I remember is like Professor X got injured, and like there was like that space queen. I
Yeah,
don't remember her name. Xandra? No.
yeah. Well, I mean, like,
What?
yes, you are correct in the story, but yeah,
I,
that's
I don't. I
basically
don't remember what her name was, but she came to Earth to like. She was in love. Maybe she was in love with him, but she was maybe apparently supposed to like help cure him or something. I don't remember. It was something to do with some space empress or
yeah,
something.
and she took him away, and that was how the series ended.
Wait, that's how it ended. So I might have
Yeah.
actually watched like one of the last
Yes.
episodes of it
Yes.
without
Yes.
realizing.
When I said you got it, I meant it, Chris.
Well,
Like you, like you, everything you said was correct.
well,
You
the
know?
rest of the series, I don't really. I remember bits and parts, and that's the last thing I remember. But I didn't know that that was the end of the series.
That
Pretty
was the
much.
end. The end.
Oh wow.
They take him away. I think that's supposed to represent like the X-Men are like grown up and they don't need him anymore. I don't know what they were going for, but yeah, apparently they're gonna. Well, obviously they're gonna bring the character back now with the relaunch, or I guess continuation is a better word for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, not really much else to say. It's supposed to be coming out in mid 2023, so still got a long ways to go. And apparently the first new season's only going to be 10 episodes. So
Yeah. Maybe like they've only announced at least one season, I believe, right? Or did they
yeah,
say if it will be multiple seasons?
they just announced the one,
Yeah,
but
okay.
they want to do more, obviously.
Obviously, and I'm sure if it does well, which I'm sure it will, it'll be good. I'm expecting that first episode though to be a little heavy on backstory to get you caught
Oh,
up.
for sure.
Because if you
Well,
haven't watched the original like 5 seasons,
I think we're going to be asking why is that person's voice different? Why is that person's voice different? But anyways, Chris, do you want to bring up the next story?
next story. So we could go into Nintendo.
Okay.
Nintendo has this they've basically attacked one person's YouTube channel. I guess in a way rightfully, but it's still scummy. Taken down like uh, was it 3,500 videos from the channel because of copyright for Nintendo music. This is a person who's uploaded a lot of Nintendo music because for people that listen to at YouTube, because really the only way you can listen to Nintendo music is if they give you the option to load up the game on the consoles on and go to the soundtrack like little option and just listen to soundtracks that way. That's pretty much been the only way you can listen to Nintendo music. You can't listen to
Hmm.
it on Spotify. You can't buy soundtracks from them in any way, physical or digital form. That's the only way. And it's kind of shitty for them to do this, I think, because there's no other option. And Nintendo, I was maybe thinking if they're going to do this, that they'll announce at the Nintendo Direct a streaming service or way to purchase music, you know, through them, because people love Nintendo music.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's well within their legal
Oh,
rights.
yeah.
They own it, everything. But at the same time, do you see any other company doing this? Like, no, you don't. And there's a reason
So,
because people enjoy the music, and it's only gonna help you. It's like maybe
Square
someone will
does.
get like, okay, fine, but like still, I I was speaking more of like like a n- like the whole thing, not just like one or two people, but Yeah.
So,
No one really does this. No one really does this. It's like, what happens if like I listen to a song, I get the Zelda song stuck in my head, and I'm like, oh, next time I go to the store, you know what? I want to play Zelda. You know what I mean? It's basically free advertising.
mm,
So
yeah,
I
it
it's
kind of sucks.
it's
I mean,
to
it doesn't
me
kind of, it does suck.
it's a lose-lose situation. I think Nintendo's losing out on this. It's just, again, Nintendo's a very stubborn company just because that's just their culture.
I
I know.
think I think they should have like another way for people to listen to the music. Allow people to purchase the bloody soundtracks. There are lots of people who will do so. They, you know, Nintendo has like, I guess some of the most iconic video game characters ever, and soundtracks as well, right? Just release them and let people enjoy them, or that, because I know a lot of companies will take down stuff, music of that, or they will have do it where they'll put ads on the video so that they make that money. They'll kind of force ads on, but they will claim all the money from it, the revenue, so that
Yeah.
they still make money off of it. Because that's what happened to, I think, one of my videos, one of my old cosplay videos back in the day when I did my Kefka cosplay. I had either the whole track or part of it was Kefka's theme, and then that was ended up getting ads on it without me knowing. I didn't get an email, so I ended up taking that video down because of that. I don't know who
Yeah,
claimed it. I got no email about it, no notification, nothing. It was on my old YouTube channel. So,
I have on my YouTube channel, I have a it's a no commentary, no face cam. It's just like me just doing like an extreme difficulty version of DuckTales remastered.
mm,
Um and like I'm not skipping cutscenes, like I do the whole game in one shot pretty much. Um and you know, Chris, DuckTales, ooh, dun, 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 dun,
oh,
dun,
that
dun,
got
dun.
struck, didn't
So
it?
during the credits, they played that song, and my YouTube video, even though it's from the game, I didn't get a copyright strike, but I got like, you can't be playing this audio. I'm like, so they had to mute it. I'm like, it's
Just,
from the fucking game.
yeah.
What, like YouTube? Oh,
Was the
okay.
entire video
Let's no, just the credits.
just that
But
part? That still
let's not
sucks.
get started. I'm gonna get a little too.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, this really sucks. I really wish Nintendo would give people an option to be able to listen to their music this way. I
Yeah.
was really hoping the Switch, or not Switch, the Direct would have, said that, because then people would have been like, oh, so now it really makes sense why you did this. I mean, the person who was uploading these videos is going to be shutting down the YouTube channel anyway, because why go through the bloody hassle? And, we'll say try and re upload everything, just have Nintendo take it down eventually again. You know, it's it sucks, but they're gonna have to do that. But we want an alternate way to be able to do this. Not everyone wants to go into OC Remix and download the remix tracks on there. And even then, some companies try to strike your channel or mute your channel because of remixes. I think that happened on one of my videos as well too, like on one of my streams. That part of the one of the streams is partially muted for an OC remix.
That sucks.
I've had parts of my fucking streams get muted for various reasons. And I don't understand why. Like no understand at any point. One of my Metroid ones got muted at some point,
Wow, really?
but I
Huh.
don't know why. I have zero understanding as to why.
That's
Because
strange.
I was playing Metroid, and out of all the streams, one of them got partially muted, and it wasn't for alerts because those alerts were used in other videos, and they still do. It wasn't for the music because I was running through those areas multiple times in multiple versions of that game. So I don't understand it. Whatever.
Well,
It's done.
let's stick with Nintendo for another second.
Yeah,
So
might as well.
Nintendo kind of made, well, more specifically, the Nintendo president made a claim about, he kind of voices concerns, probably in kind of spite of not spite, but in lieu what's happening with Xbox and Sony with their recent acquisitions that we've already covered in previous weeks, Chris, he kind of just spoke up and said, you know what, sure, you can do that like if it makes sense, but you shouldn't really be doing that because it kind of dilutes your DNA. Like we don't want our Nintendo DNA diluted by like having like 50 other game studios with us, because basically that he just expressed his concern about try to have your own kind of thing,
Image.
like yeah, image. Thank you. So yeah, it's not really newsworthy. It's just like it's still interesting though. You know what I mean?
It is. I mean, Nintendo, if you think back on how Nintendo deals with other people they work with, like Team Ninja, is it Team Ninja that does
I
the
think so.
Dynasty, not Team Ninja, whoever did this Dynasty Warriors,
Oh,
Tecmo
Dynasty
Koei,
Warriors.
sorry,
Okay.
how they work with them with Breath of the Wild. And if Nintendo wasn't happy with what they're doing, they would have cut ties with them, right? They would have been like, nope, this isn't happening. Kind of like what happened with some of the other, was it Metroid 4? They're not happy with what was happening, so they cut ties or, said, no, 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 we're bringing this further in. Like Nintendo's not one to, uh, Nintendo isn't um, won't shy away with cutting ties or bringing stuff in closer to make sure it's more within their line of vision, because they want things to look a specific way. They want them to feel a specific way. It's part of the Nintendo DNA, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what fans expect out of Nintendo. Like, a Mario game has to look like Mario. Zelda has to look and feel like Zelda. Even
Hmm.
if there are tweaks to the formula, it still has to be within a certain formula. And Nintendo's afraid, you start buying up companies, you start diluting your brand and image. And I do understand that. I know, like, really with what Microsoft and Sony are doing is they're buying up other companies to help grow their brand or extend their reach in a way, yada yada. So they're not officially bringing them in to their fold, but to Nintendo, that's still almost the same thing. Working
Yeah.
with them is almost the same thing to them. So that's so I understand it coming from Nintendo. you know, with the way they work and do things.
Yeah. So do you want to bring up the next one?
We could actually bring up like uh, what was it here? Crap.
Okay. Well, I'll just bring the
I was
next
gonna
one up
do
then.
Microsoft's acquisition. I just had it took me a second to find it. So Microsoft's acquisition, it's I'm not gonna say it's not gonna go through because it more likely still will, but there is seems to be a point guard blocking them now to
Yep.
possibly stop this or fine them. The FTC is looking into this. Apparently, this has been a thing recently within the last 2 years, basically since Biden took over. The
So
FTC has been trying to, I guess, stamp down or look more closely on big tech companies and their huge acquisitions. To
yeah.
tr-
Sorry. Just like
yeah, I'll let
FTC,
you.
in case people don't know, is just Federal Trade Commission. That's all I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say.
sorry.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
I made a point in my mind to say that and then I just didn't. Sorry, but yeah, apparently they're looking into like a lot of big companies making big acquisitions. Like they recently, which I guess it was kind of canceled now, they stepped their foot in on the Nvidia and is it ARM deal that was supposed to be going through, and then the FTC was looking at that you go because recently I think ARM had acquired something else, and they fined them like 100 million or like $1 billion. I don't remember. It was a lot, like or like 4.4 million. And then Nvidia was gonna buy ARM apparently, and then the FTC was looking at them. We kind of so like they're taking it a bit serious. The reason why they're looking at these is trying to like I guess stop monopolization
Yeah.
and just making sure that I guess in a way uh to make sure how do you say? I guess monopolization is the only way I could put it. Make sure that the companies don't get too big, and make sure that trade is still fair between all or as many parties as possible, like open trade, yada yada. Because so we would know. This is what I'm getting from it. Sorry if I'm incorrect. What I'm getting from it is that, as we would know, let's say the Microsoft buying Activision. In 5 years' time, they could just lock off all those games to Blizzard, and then or to sorry, to Microsoft, and then every other console that was playing those games cannot anymore and have to go to Microsoft, right? Like there would be no choice. So that's a bit of future-proofing monopolization, and that's not a good thing for competition. That's what I was trying to get to
Mm.
originally,
Yep.
and just couldn't get it out of my head. Yes. So I don't. What do you have to add to this, or what did I get wrong in my
I don't
statement?
think I have anything to add. You kind of just said everything.
Oh, I actually got it right. Now, I know there's a lot here, and I'm not good with this sort of stuff, so I was trying to read
Well,
it and understand.
I mean, we're also not Americans, so we kind of have to,
No,
we're
but
taking this a
uh,
grain of salt in our terms of the
yeah,
understanding of
and
the
a lot of this
situation.
does affect us at some point, usually. So,
Well, I mean more so, we're not exactly sure how the FTC functions like
mm,
entirely.
yeah,
That's all. Yeah, like we can do our research, but like we're obviously relying on like other people because we're not living there. So
mm,
yeah, we don't have like the firsthand experience. Is all I'm trying to say.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I kind of knew about Biden claiming, and I think he's done, or his team at least has done what they said they were going to do, just cracking down on antitrust issues and monopolies, and
yeah.
overall, like not just to the story, but overall that seems like a good thing to me. So,
It
but
it depends on how far they go with it, but I guess making sure mega corporations don't get even more mega corporation, right? I guess is a good way to is a good thing. Like trying, I guess, keep the companies as separate as they can be.
mhm.
I don't know much about this stuff, so uh, I'll just kind of leave that there because I don't
Yeah, we'll
know.
just kind of defer the story to like our information. That's
Yeah,
all
I
we
guess
can
the
really
best
do.
thing we could say is, we brought it up, make your own decision, or, refer to people who know more about like FTC and their rulings and stuff like that, because we may be wrong. Maybe this is better. It would have been better for certain companies, but at the very least, if the transaction still goes through, Microsoft will more likely be hit with a big fine or something like that because of it. There could be other issues, but
Well,
that's
one
yes,
one
please
thing that
go
they
on.
have to take into consideration is, are they competitors? And I would say no, because like sure their games compete against each other, but like it's more so because like Xbox is like known for being a console person, like in the gaming space. They're
Mm,
not really known for like, well, they are known for making games, but they're like one of the big three right now as the console
yeah.
manufacturer. So the fact that they're putting more games on that console is not really like necessarily antitrust. You know what I mean? It's
Mm,
like it's like if I make peanut butter and you make jam and I buy you out, they go well together, right?
yeah.
Like it's a stupid
Well, yeah,
example,
but
I know, but
it's
you
more
know what I mean?
it's more of the locking off and preventing the other competition to be able
Yeah,
to now use what you've previously acquired. And if Blizzard or Microsoft says what they're going to do and keep releasing games on multiple platforms, then there would be no issue with this. But there's no guarantee that that'll happen. Microsoft
this
has
is
also said in a statement this week saying, "No, trust us, Call of Duty will still continue on PlayStation." But it's like, what about the other games that they,
yeah. You know
you
what?
know? So
I was about to segue
there's
into
no
that.
hundred. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but there's no 100%. There is no 100%. What do you call it? Guarantee that that'll happen, right? In
Mhm.
4 or 5 years' time, we don't know what'll happen. This could be future proofing from like 10 years' time, and then 10 years go, yeah, we're done with your with you guys now, right? We don't know, and that's what part of the Federal Trade Commission is what wants to look into to make sure that this doesn't happen. Like they could try and put a thing on them saying, well, if you break your deal, we'll fine you, whatever, right in the future. But I don't actually know.
I think that's why they came out saying that they're gonna release Call of Duty like for quite a while beyond like what they had
Yeah,
originally
because
agreed
I
to.
think
So
they've upped it now to
and
5 years? Question
yeah,
mark.
but like it's been good guy Microsoft, so you can't really like, if you just look at their patterns, they have pretty much been doing what
Yeah,
they've been
I
saying.
mean,
You
yeah.
know,
Go on, go on.
so obviously that doesn't prevent them from lying, but
No, it doesn't. But if Microsoft doesn't really lose much if they continue to release these games on multiple platforms. They only gain a bigger audience. Like they might lose what 30% to whatever it is on is it 30 or whatever it is at Sony and Nintendo charge and Steam. They'll lose that little bit, but they'll keep a big audience. And maybe they can convince Micro or Sony, or if it's still on their end, just to keep it cross-platform. Then they
yeah,
keep winning no matter what, right?
yep, exactly.
Like
Their games
really,
are being bought. It doesn't matter really where they're being played,
as
right?
long as they're being played and bought, and I guess if the revenue keeps coming in, they don't really lose
It just
anything.
makes financial sense,
It
honestly.
does, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's still probably going to go through more than likely, but it may
Yeah.
just be delayed for a bit.
I honestly think it will go through. I
Yeah,
mean, we could be wrong, but I think it will. That was like my first impression immediately was like, even without thinking about it, was like, okay, well, that's a good thing it's happening, but it probably won't make a difference.
yeah, pretty much. What else do
So
we have?
I guess we could sort of segue. It's not really one into like into kind of Sony's acquisition back what we talked about last week about Destiny 2. So
Mm,
remember how we talked about that $3.6 billion acquisition deal? So
mm-hmm.
apparently exactly a third of that, so 1.2, that was part of that deal. So it's not additional money. It was part of that 3.6 million. 1.2 is being paid specifically to retain employees for at least the next 2 years. So, how it works is apparently the employees get about um,
I want to
about
say it was 50%.
50%. Yeah, 50% of their salary over the next. I think it was 2 years. I think
I thought
that
it was
was
50% right away, and then the rest over the next 2 or 3 years.
that could be it.
I think is what it was.
I don't think, yeah, but like the numbers aren't really so important. More so the fact that,
Yeah.
oh, here we go. Yeah, employees will receive 50% of their total equity payouts when the deal closes. You're right, Chris, and the rest in subsequent years. But they're going to get 2/3 of what they would get in over the next 2 years. So 2/3 of the bonus that each employee gets individually spread out over the next 2 years, and the last third after that. So basically, um, the people who are working there have been saying this is very much golden handcuffs. So they feel compelled to stay
Mm,
because they want the more, they want the money, but they feel like they're trapped at the same time.
yeah.
So
Because
it's and kind of pulling back from the story a little bit. It's kind of strange that Sony would be doing this. Like they don't have faith almost that people at Bungie would stay after this deal. That's what this kind of tells me.
I think Sony, after doing other acquisitions and stuff like that, have seen almost immediately after announcing acquisitions, some top people just flee the companies. So they want to guarantee that the people who are working on the game they're kind of buying the company for are going to stick around and develop the game until they can get a foothold, not a foothold, an idea of where they want them to go next with the new team. Because there's definitely going to be people leaving. They just want guarantee that that game will be supported with the people who've already made it. Because a game could easily fall apart as soon as they buy it and don't have, as you said, golden handcuffs in place to keep people there. Like imagine,
Yeah,
the story writer leaves, and then you start to get a Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 kind of feel, or like no, not that. I was more thinking of when they change voice actors from the guy who played the robot, Peter Dinklage, to the more
yeah,
voice actor. It
yeah,
would almost feel like that, but in writing form. Like if the lead writer just left like tomorrow because of this, right? It'd be like a kick in the pants. It's like, oh, do we have someone who could write as well as him that people like? That fits our theme, right? So this, yeah, as you said, golden handcuffs, but it's really hard for people not to say that money is really nice though. Like I understand, but I also understand Sony for saying we need to keep these people here for a while, at least until we get a foothold on the company and allow us to say, okay, this is what we want next. Can you guys do it? Who's gonna stick around, right? maybe take a consensus of how many people are going to stick around after the 2 or 3 years, right? Whatever they want to do.
It's I
It is
find it
it is
so
odd though. It is odd. Go
I
on.
find it so fascinating that Sony, this is like, at least in my mind, I know, as you said, they have acquired studios in the past. I can't even think of the last one. So I find it extremely fascinating that Sony had to spend literally a third of that deal money just retaining
I
talent.
mean, yeah.
Versus look at what Microsoft is doing. They've done like 50 studios in the last 2 years or so,
Mm.
with all, even probably more. Like, I'm just thinking like major studios, like probably more than that, and they haven't had to do this once. So
Well, as far as we know,
is it is well, I think it'll be a little more obvious. Like, out of all the studios, some employee would eventually have come out with this. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, is Sony maybe not treating their people that they acquire as good as Microsoft is? Like that's what this is like. That's where my mind goes.
I don't know. You could look at some of the other studios like Don't Nod and stuff like that, and maybe see the proof there. Because wasn't there issues with, is it Don't Nod, Naughty Dog? Maybe I'm getting the company wrong. Who do some of the games, and like some people weren't being treated well there in the past. I
For
could be,
Sony?
I believe so, because Sony owns
Okay.
those two, right? But I don't know if it's because of Sony or because of what was going on internally in those companies. I don't remember. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
That's
no, it's just kind of like, where I'm just saying, like, that's where my mind went
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Wasn't
I,
really. Yeah.
I understand. It's like, but it is a lot of money just from that deal going to try and retain people. Like,
Yeah.
it makes me think that a lot of people there weren't did not want to get bought by them, or it because I don't think Bungie wanted to get bought by anyone. They seem to be happy, at least at the time being, solo, right? As far as we know.
Remember them breaking off from Activision, and now they got bought out.
Well,
How'd that work?
they broke off from Microsoft and broke off from Activision. Had to fight Activision to get their game back,
Yep.
and then now get bought by Sony. So I don't know. I don't know why go back to another big corporation. Maybe the money was too good, or they were running into financial troubles. I don't know.
Or someone just got the majority of the shares and made that decision. So,
That could be.
anyways,
Anyway, yeah.
um,
Next story. Oof.
so Chris, so we used to watch. There's this Canadian gaming show when we were younger. I've electric was it Electric
Electric
Playground?
Playground.
Yeah. Oh, no, no. Was it that one with this one? I think it was. So remember who Tommy Tallarico was? If
Uh,
you look him up, if you look him up,
he's a music
just
composer.
but hang on, search his name in Google, because I want you to see what he looks like.
Look,
Because I don't think you know who I'm talking about. So
look.
I'm going to give him a second, because we had a lot of video game shows in Canada. They're like very like indie, but like
Yeah, because
this
I have no
guy,
idea who this guy looks like. I know
yeah,
of him because I've heard.
this guy and Lucas, I forget his last name, Lucas something. The two of them produced a lot of these shows. They're like Electric Playground, and I forget the other ones, but
Yeah, I do think I kind of
you've
remember
seen
what.
them.
I
I
do believe
guarantee
so.
it's
I never really watched
okay.
Electric Playground, but I'm sure I've seen him on the little clips I've seen of it.
Let me
But
just
wow,
do this.
wow. Like I've been following what he's been up to with the Intellivision. Was it not like what is it called? His new console, the Intellivision.
Oh yes. What's it called?
Crap, I don't remember what.
Intellivision. I got it. Intellivision Amico.
Amico. That's it. Thank you. I just found it as you did. Yes, I've been following that story, and the last few years don't really paint Tommy Tallarico in a good light.
No, they don't. And he used to be like a really fun personality to watch on television, but apparently
apparently,
he's not
apparently he's not that good of a
that
guy
persona.
either. But I don't know. This is from stories that he's apparently not very nice.
So apparently, this is actually news to me. I didn't even realize they were making their own console, or at least trying to, I
They
should say.
announced it like 2 years ago at E3, and
Yeah,
the it
but
kind
like,
of was like right. So the console's also apparently a year and 3 months late. It's been delayed 3 times. It's had 3 or 4 Kickstarter. Sorry, this isn't about the console really, but it is the
No, no,
thing.
I was gonna
It
say,
is the thing he's been working on for the last couple years.
yeah.
So
So
there's been
going
lots of issues with it. Anyway, continue, please.
going back to what you're saying, he wasn't apparently the greatest of guys. So the actual news story is that he's stepping down of the CEO of the company. He's still in the president position, so
Hmm.
it's not like he dropped off a 30-foot building, but
No, he
you know
still
he's
retains the shares and CEO position.
no 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 he retains the president position.
Oh, president. Sorry,
No,
I,
it's all right.
I,
Um,
CEO's written so many times on here that I get confused.
no worries. So yeah, he's still on the board. He's still there. He's not going anywhere. I think they just wanted to like put on a better public face as a
I
CEO.
I think so.
I think that's kind of reading between the lines what happened. But yeah, apparently Tommy, it's not a good guy. Like apparently he publicly goes after journalists who
Oh,
have
oh yeah.
reported or criticized the Amico,
The
and it's happened more than once. So
Pat the NES Punk. He
I do.
has publicly tried to. It almost feels like now. I could be wrong on this. He has gone after them repeatedly for reporting on the Amico, for them reporting on what is public knowledge on it, and has and lots of YouTubers and journalists. Yeah, he has tried to. I want to say, could be wrong. DMCA or strike channels or get videos taken down from YouTube of people talking about this. He has been really bad with the public, I guess public face or reception of this console or sorry, no, the critic response for the console that they're trying to make. That I think that's a better way to put it. He's been really awful with it, and like yeah, I think that this is really a show of them trying to like get him out of the limelight for the face of the company in general because it doesn't look good. I mean, the console's already been delayed, like I said, a bunch of times, and has lots of other issues go on with it. If you've been
Yeah.
following it, I haven't followed it for like 3 months, so I'm sure if I start listening to Pat's podcast more, I'd hear a lot more about it. I wish I knew where he's getting his retro gaming news from. I need to find it, the websites, because I can't find it. I'm not getting the news I want to get. So anyway, that's a
I
different
will
story.
say this Amico is the one of the strangest consoles. Like just from looking at it from
Mm.
some pictures, it seems super
Yeah,
strange.
it's basically they try to make it look like an updated version of the Intellivision. You know, it's got weird controllers. I think it's supposed to have a more modern controller. Could be wrong. You can hook your phones up to it. I think to use as controllers. It's
Oh, really? Huh.
I think so. They use Bluetooth or wireless. I believe it's Bluetooth technology to connect, which would make sense. But what's known about the console is almost little. He's gone off to say that the console is going to have NFTs or it's going to have uh, what's the other thing? RFI cards in it. That's going to have physical media. Then it's not going to have physical media. We have a web store that's up and going. No, the web store's not finished yet, and like just lots of back and forth as to what is actually finished and not finished with the console. Like I said, it's been delayed a bunch of times, and so
So
just getting him out of the picture, and hopefully we could get an actual, honest say of what the outlook of this console is better because people have backed this and we're expecting it a year and 3 months ago.
yeah, and
So
I realize they can't really pull out of making this console now. I realize
I
like if they
know
do that, the company's essentially bankrupt at that point. But like more than likely, but
it could be, yeah.
it's still this is gonna go the way the Ouya, Chris. This is
I
definitely
I believe
the
so.
next
Like
Ouya.
the last thing I heard of what is in the guts of the system is that it's basically like almost equivalent to a smartphone from like 6 or 7 years
Huh?
ago. Like
Really?
cheap smartphone.
Wow. This console
Now I
should
don't
be like
know if that's what it's like when it's finished, but they like just go look up the if you guys want to know more because there's a lot of baggage on this specific console. Uh, there's a lot of baggage on it. So go look up like other people's videos on it because there's a lot to it. Like holy crap, you only know like a little bit of it, Shawn, and it's a mess apparently.
So you're saying I don't know its final form yet, is what you're trying to tell
No
me.
one knows. I don't. I want to say Intellivision doesn't know its final form.
Well, I'm referring to the meme more so than
Oh, I
anything
know,
else.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're going
Okay.
for. And it'd be more like if Frieza went up there and said, "I don't even know my final form," and he just keeps powering up forever, right? That's more what
Nice.
I'm thinking. Like, you have him do that as he starts to turn golden Frieza, because that wasn't a thing then, and then he starts turning like multiple colors, and like, but yeah,
Well, anyways, I think that was me bringing up the Ouya was actually a really good segue into the last, at least I think it's the last story we'll be doing today, Chris.
yeah, it might as well be. We're pretty much
So
running over time.
yeah, do you guys remember the Ouya? Well, yeah. Well, now
I
apparently,
almost don't.
yeah. Well, now the Stadia, Google Stadia, is apparently because it's Google and because they're a absolute giant.
Hmm.
They're not gonna kill it off like the Ouya, but they're just gonna kind of like use it for other purposes now. So yeah, Stadia is kind of done as far as Google's concerned about its original intention.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be used for a back end provider for games. Um, for I think other companies like they're not really concerned about using them themselves. They're just going to like using the technology and all the bells and whistles behind it for other things. So I think let me just double check here. An example was the exercise equipment company Peloton. I think I'm saying that correct. Yeah, Peloton. It's going to be so the Stadia is going to be like a back end provider for games running on its line of fitness bikes. So just stuff like that.
Yeah.
It kind of got regulated to like, oh, so now you're like a fitness bike
Well,
game.
yeah. Like they're gonna be changing the name to Google Stream, but there is gonna be like game companies like Capcom and Bungie apparently are gonna be putting stuff on it, but it's almost more likely gonna be like maybe multiplayer stuff, I'm guessing, or maybe the live service stuff. Maybe they'll put up demos of stuff like that or tech demos and stuff, a lot of stuff, but it doesn't seem to be like a lot of full-fledged games in general. They're kind of taking it down a notch from what, like you said, down a notch from what their original intent was, and just repurposing the hardware software. So, I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised that Stadia is pretty much dead. A lot of people called it a long time ago, but it's not being sunsetted. It's not being shut down. Just retooled and repurposed.
Yep.
I guess is the best thing anyone who's working on this could hope for. Apparently, there's still a lot of people in Google Stadia who are working on that. They're saying, "No, don't worry, guys. It's still something can come of this." But
Yeah.
because there's always people working on the thing. They're like, "This could still work, right?" Because they're actually working on it. But Google does not see it. It's already pretty much failed in its original intent.
It has failed 100%.
Yeah. Like no
Well,
one jumped onto it. I almost think I could be wrong that Nvidia's stream or whatever it's called, Nvidia Now, I think it does what Google wanted Stadia to do, but better. But I could be wrong. I never used the Nvidia version of it, because Nvidia just uses your own game library and then allows you to stream the game to you at higher resolutions and higher
mhm.
frame rate. Higher quality. Which, if it does what it does, that's awesome, right? And you don't have to buy the game from. Oops, I keep hitting my keyboard. You don't have to buy the game from Nvidia. You just hook up. You just link it to your already existing game libraries. It's cool. I'm not endorsing it. I never use it. I'm just saying similar
Well,
service ish in a way.
honestly, I think Xbox Cloud Gaming was just the final nail. Even if it didn't exist, Stadia would have still died. Don't get me wrong, but like Xbox Cloud Gaming was just like the final nail in the coffin. It's like literally, you can play Game Pass on your PC, on an Xbox console, on
Hmm.
a web browser, on your phone, on a tablet, pretty much anywhere. Like you just need a controller, and even then, if you're on your phone, you can just like do Bluetooth. If you're on a web browser, excuse me, you can just like do USB to your whatever the web
I,
browser's on. It's so simple, and that's what Stadia should have been.
I
But Google
wonder
rushed
if
out the door.
Yeah, I wonder if Google's going to try to expand the Xbox One and turn that into the new Stadia. Like not change the name, but like just expand more on the Xbox cloud service and try and use that more as like the cloud gaming and just keep expanding that to kind of replace Stadia in its what Stadia was originally supposed to be because it it kind of is there, but not 100% quite there, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
So yeah, rip Stadia or haha Stadia. We knew it would
Yeah.
end this
I
way.
mean,
Whatever look you want to go with it.
everyone
It
everyone knew it
yeah.
ended this way. I think even the early adopters knew, like after a certain amount of
Yeah, I
time
mean,
that was this way.
obviously some people use it were like, yeah, it's pretty good, or yeah, it's got some bugs, but it could be pretty good. And then it never really expand as far as I know, it didn't expand beyond that, some tweaks here and there, but that was
Mhm.
kind of it because I mean, you don't want to spend $80 to have a game streamed to your PC, do you? You want to be able to
Oh,
download it to your PC. You don't want to have an always on connection, especially with the US infrastructure for internet being as spotty as it is.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
Xbox does it right.
Yeah, Xbox does it
You
right.
know,
You can
you
download,
can
yeah.
well, you don't actually have to download the Xbox Game Pass games. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I meant before. You can still stream it on
Yeah,
the
you
freaking
could do both.
browser.
You have a
It's
choice to download right
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So that's one of the things that I think CD should have done. Allow you to download the game, which is what a lot of people were saying they should allow you to do. But whatever, fine.
And Game Pass, you pay for the service. Stadia, you pay for the service, and you pay for the game. It's like what?
Yeah,
Like what the fuck?
there's that too. Yes, I mean Microsoft, Mi- Xbox is taking a big. I want to say a big hit on that until I don't know when they'll make money or if they actually started making money on Game Pass already. But they've taken a lot of hits on trying to make that a big thing. So and Stadia just wouldn't budge. They had an okay idea in a way, but there's issues with their service. with
Mhm.
the with the monetization really is one of the big things for it. Yeah, but rip, it's gone. It's done so. But I think that's it. We're also done so for this week.
Yeah, we are. So that was actually a really good length for us, Chris. I would say, you know, um, pretty happy. We kind of covered everything we wanted to do. We were pretty concise, I would say, for the
Yeah,
most part. Yeah.
I
Um,
hope so. I hope our ramblings weren't too rambling and people enjoy what they heard. Because, I mean, I think it's what some people, if they listen to the podcast, kind of stick around for is some of the ramblings anyway. But it's the way things is. Um, I guess we'll just end there. I'm going to, I guess, start off. Sorry, my brain's kind of half on and half off at this moment. You find us or me on Twitch under Prince_Kaboom. I stream on there sometimes. This podcast is on every what day is it today? Thursday?
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday for me.
Wednesday evenings at around 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
So that would be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific
Yeah,
as well.
we do it live and then I try and get the podcast out over the next 12 hours or so for everyone else on podcast in the podcast land. I also do streaming on my days off if I can. Best to check out my channel for updates on that. But that's usually like really early morning for me, like 1 or 2 a.m. I'll start as of right now. Uh, on Twitter, what was it? CSCHABANG, C Shebang. I'm on there sometimes. You know, I'll post updates and things that I do on there and kind of update and I do edits of my YouTube or my Twitch stuff on YouTube on MrPrinceKaboom. It's mostly been recently just straight up VODs, but I do try to do edits of certain ones. I just haven't had time to edit recently. Just no time at all. I want to get my Super Sentai stuff re-edited because I want to do season 2 edit. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. And what about you, Zorb?
So you can find me, excuse me, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Zorb _Zex. I'm probably gonna have you, if you don't mind, Chris, for next week. As I said on this podcast, I do have the Instagram and TikTok. I haven't been using them yet, but I still want to probably include them in the kind of graphic beneath my name here.
I
Hang
could
on,
I could do that. Don't worry.
here,
Yeah, it's it's
right
it's
here.
below you. Don't worry.
There's some empty space right here where I'm pointing. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
left lots of space for extra stuff.
Oh no, I did it backwards.
What?
It's over here. Okay, it's over here.
Well,
Right.
there's space I could put underneath for
Okay.
the VOD, and I could add that into our descriptions
Yeah.
when you get that
So
up. Because I got that too, but I haven't used it in forever, so maybe I should. I don't know.
anyways, I am in the midst, as I said at the start of the stream, I'm in the midst of just upgrading the stream and my socials. So not going to be posting too much on there yet. So I'm not pushing too hard for those. But on Twitch, I definitely am going to be streaming most nights. Um, so you can tune in for that. Games I've been playing. So we played It Takes Two last night. I played Hollow Knight. I got the Steel Soul run complete. I think I mentioned that already.
Yeah.
I'm looking to complete a game called The Medium, which is a Series X slash PC exclusive. It's a game. It's kind of it's I don't want to call it like a horror game, but it's kind of like a spooky, scary game. In that your screen is like divided like into half, either horizontally or vertically, and your girl, the main character, she exists in like the main world and like the shadow world at the same time. And it's kind of like a puzzle game. Like you don't move the two separate versions. You only move her, and they move like everything you do is like together, but like the world is different. So you have to
Mm,
like interact and like it's really difficult to explain. But I'm gonna be maybe playing that. Yeah, I played Poppy, Poppy Playtime, as I said before. That was really fun. Um, so on the stream, I'll be playing a little more Hollow Knight coming up. What else? And maybe some more FNAF. So we'll see about that. And oh, Prince
mm.
or Chris? I don't know how I called you Prince. Uh,
It's just so used to
so
when you're streaming to call
yeah,
each other by our usernames.
yeah. So I told you, but I started playing Dead by Daylight. So
Yeah. Oh crap! I forgot to ask you about that.
yeah, so we can do that now a little bit. So go ahead, you can ask.
So, who are you playing with? What do you think of the
uh,
game? And what are you
I'm
playing on?
playing.
Are you a
I'm playing with.
console pleb?
So I'm playing on the Steam version, but then I saw it's also on Game Pass, so I could have played on the PC Game Pass or the Xbox.
Mm,
Um, I tried both mouse and controller. I tried mouse for like 2 hours, and I tried controller for 2 hours. I personally like the controller better. That's just me. Um, but I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to find it. Like each game, I like to play one or the other,
yeah.
but this one
So,
I'm very undecided about.
some
But right
games
now,
feel better with one or the other. Yeah.
yeah, right now I'm leaning more towards controller for this game. Um, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm taking it very casually, but um, it's okay.
Who are you playing as
I
first?
I don't like that you have to buy all these freaking characters.
All
I
the only ones you if like if let's say you keep playing, the only ones you have to spend real money on are all the licensed hero or survivors and
so like
killers.
the Resident Evil 2
Like
characters.
Ghostface, RE2, with Nemesis, like the you can't get them anymore, but we would have been Stranger Things characters.
Oh man, I'm sad I missed that. But anyways,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're no longer there. Like they're still in the game, but you can't get them anymore.
yeah,
If you're new to the series, but you can get their abilities, I believe. But yeah, all the originals that they make, you can get those through their one of their in-game currencies.
okay. Who am I playing? I don't remember her name. It's the girl like with the pink short or pink sweater and
Claudette
blue jeans.
in glasses,
No, it doesn't have glasses.
pigtails.
She she has an optional mask you can put on her.
Oh, okay, yeah. Was that Nia?
I don't think
I
that's her
think
name.
that's who it is.
Is it Nia? Okay, maybe it is her name then. I don't know, but I had one of my streaming friends tell me that her perks are pretty good as a
Hers
Jimmy.
and her and Claudette are, well, I would say are the two easy to get because Nia has lots of stealthy stuff to get around, and Claudette has healing. So
Okay, well, I guess we can talk about this at the start of the next stream because we kind of,
yeah,
or at least I
no,
forgot to bring it up.
that's pretty much. I just wanted to ask like kind of what your
Yeah.
what your thoughts on are, but if you play more, want to talk more on it later, we can.
I'll be playing more. My opinion is very like might be like 5 hours of gameplay, so I kind of need more underneath my belt. But yeah, something to
We're
look
gonna have
forward to
to
for the
invite
stream.
you in for gameplay sessions then.
We'll talk about after stream.
All right, but
Okay,
that's it, everyone. We're done. Thank you for listening, viewing, yada yada. We're done. We're out of here. See you guys. Bye.
take care, guys. See you next time.